What would you be prepared to do to have everything you ever wanted? How far would you go? And where would you draw the line? These are the questions facing John Kennedy, a young man with a mysterious past from Belfast, Northern Ireland, when he arrives in Manchester in the summer of 2001 and finds the sinister but exciting world of drug gang, the Brotherhood. Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the Heir's Lair. I'm your host, Jonathan Taylor. This video, as perhaps one or another context clue might have already given away, will be a book review. And the book in question is Drug Gang by Neil Walker. Subtitled the most compelling and controversial crime thriller in years, Drug Gang has been written by a Belfast-born civil servant who's has had a perhaps more adventurous life than his occupation might lead some people to believe. That's not to say that this book is autobiographical, but a lot of the aspects that give this book its distinctive flair and appeal do stem from a distinctive and intimate set of the author's personal recollections. The word intimate might not be the most appropriate in that context, but I digress. Aside from a personal connection to the setting of the book, what else does the author bring to it? Well, the TLEW for this review is the subtitle is an editorial exaggeration. It is not the most compelling, but it is gripping. It's not really controversial either. It merely uses controversy in order to gain hype, gain appeal, gain word of mouth, something. Nevertheless, it does have its merits. There are aspects of it that are well constructed towards drawing people in and awakening their interest and their attention. And there is plenty of refinement and effort that has been put into making this book the best it could possibly be. So if you find yourself in the market for a read within the crime thriller genre, and this marvelously successful piece of fiction has so far eluded you, this is your reminder that it exists and it might be up your alley. Should you decide to pursue it, I do, however, have to issue some content warnings for drug use, obviously, violence of the unarmed, blunt weapon, firearms, and unusual implements varieties, torture, and sexual assault. Because, yeah, it's one of those kinds of books. And now that I'm done talking about general aspects, it's time I delve into the specifics. The plot of the book follows John Kennedy, a Belfast-born troublemaker and world traveler, who, upon the recommendation of one of his traveling buddy, a man called Michael, ends up getting recommended to the leader of a drug gang, a gang that Michael himself also happens to be a part of. After getting put through a baptism of fire, John decides to hitch his wagon to the success of the drug gang on what seems to be a permanent basis. The plot of the book is actually pretty loose on its feet. So after it set its foundation, it pretty much focuses on all of the things that make being the member of a drug gang alluring and exciting, and that's pretty much the main focus of the book. There are certain turns of events that lead to new plot developments overall, but the book doesn't really have a singular overarching plot in the traditional fashion. It's more a collection of anecdotes about John's time within the gang. So if you're looking for for a book with complex interwoven story arcs and complex metaphors about the human condition told through a quotidian perspective, this book is likely not going to be something you're interested in. If, however, you're interested in reading about violence and hedonism and don't mind the book going into some topics that the general public would consider inappropriate, then I think you'll find something to your liking within this within this piece of fiction. That being said, because the plot of the book is as slender as it is, the characterization is similarly trimmed down. As the main character and sole POV, no, he's not a sole POV character, but as the main character, John obviously receives most of the development within this book. However, other characters don't really receive much of anything, to be honest. There is a close knit group of other gang members that coalesces around John, but even those guys only receive a name and one or two quirks, which I have to say doesn't really allow them to stand out to in in a particular way. But it is still better than what most gang members receive, which is absolutely nothing, not even a name. The way the setting is described, however, is very much in contrast to that. It is appropriately lush and rich and detailed, as the author is very skilled at giving each location within the setting its own distinctive character. Seedy clubs are appropriately seedy, glossy clubs are appropriately glossy, and the gang headquarters is appropriately decked out with every single tool and accessory that the overgrown children who use it could either need or desire, and so on. There's a lot of care and attention given to this book, not just to where it takes place, but also with how it's presented, how it talks about the events that occur within itself. It is the language is very descriptive, but also very accessible. It's wonderfully illustrative without becoming excessive, which is a hard needle to thread if I actually think about it. Also, the violence that is presented within the book is presented with the best possible emphasis that it could individual each individual scene where it occurs requires in order for the desired narrative effect to shine through. Overall, while I find this book to be less than impressive when it comes to its storytelling craft, to its execution of the storytelling craft, the way it handles the other aspects that pertain to it do allow it to stand out and become a memorable and exciting reading experience. My final rating for Drug Gang is a 3 out of 5. And that was my review. Thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed it, well then please like the video, maybe even share it wherever you think other people will also like the video. If there is anything you'd like to add, either to the book itself or to my review of it, that's what the comment section is for. And if you want to see when my next video gets released, well then please subscribe. And ideally also ring the bell or do whatever else YouTube will ask of you in order to keep you notified. My books, the first of my own Heir to the Empire series, The Next Generation and The Path Not Taken, are available at various retailers under their respective master links in the description down below. Right past my social media links, which I also suggest you check out should you choose to. Additionally, you have the option of supporting me on Patreon, where, depending on the levels at which you pledge, you'll receive various perks, the specifics of which I'll allow you to find out for yourselves. I also have a second channel where I talk about whatever else crosses my mind. So if you want to hear me talk about things that aren't related to books or literature, that's where you can go and find out about it. If you want to keep hearing me talk about books and literature, then you can stay on this channel and go through my extensive backlog of book reviews, writing advice, and lore videos. If none of those interest you, then you can go ahead and do whatever else you want with your day, because, it is your day after all. And yeah, that was it. That was all I had to say. Until next time, I am Jonathan Taylor, and this has been the Heir's Lair.